So you can see a nice bright full moon coming up from the east. I'm here at 9,000 feet in Great Basin National Park. This is where I'm going to camp for the night at this overlook. It's probably not a legit campsite, but I was just too fatigued from driving all the way back down trying to find a spot further down in the desert. Probably doesn't show up too well, but I'm looking straight at the silhouette of Wheeler Peak. That is what I'm going to be climbing tomorrow. Should be a pretty easy climb. Starting to see the top of the sun cresting over the mountains. I sure love these desert sunrises. You can see a little bit of the alpenglow starting to hit on the mountain. Alright, let's head to the trailhead. Okay, at the end of the road, it's right at about 10,000 feet elevation. There's a few other vehicles parked here. Otherwise, I get pretty much first dibs. Now, the standard parking lot for the summit is actually backtracking up the road a little bit to the high point. It's only maybe 100, 200 feet higher than where I'm at, but this is a little bit closer access. There's actually a handful of small trails in this area. I'm going to be going this way. So the summit trail distance round trip 8.4 miles. Come to this first little junction. Like I said earlier, the main parking lot for the summit trailhead is from this trail here. It's gonna be hard to see. Got one doe in the pasture and 4 turkeys right near Stello Lake. They seem to be pretty tame. Coming up to another junction. To the lake is just over beyond the little patch of trees there, and I'm going to be veering here 3.1 miles, it says, to the summit. Well, I'm the second person to summit for the day after that runner. I did pass by one other climber. He should be coming up here momentarily. The snow here is pretty cool. It looks like little mini penitentes, which are, you see those famously down in the Andes. Looking up close, it's just a mass graveyard of insects that have landed on the snow like little gnats by the millions, probably billions. And they're just kind of all frozen up here, waiting for the sun to thaw them out. Everywhere. There's a nice little bivvy. I was looking at some of the rocks, and you can definitely see fulgurite impressions. Here's a fulgurite. It tells you that this peak definitely gets struck by lightning. It's so topographically isolated. You can see three of the lakes there. Stella Lake, one to the left, Teresa Lake in the middle, and then Brown Lake at the bottom of the rock glacier. But I'm going to try to veer down this way, get a good view of this amphitheater. Hopefully the sun will be up a little bit higher, so that way this won't all be in the shade. And from there I'm just going to head back to the vehicle. I can already see the parking lot where I'm parked. A lot more vehicles. And then way over there you can see where I spent the night at the Mather viewpoint. I got this swallow. He's kind of flying around me. It's cool. I'm seeing all the rosy finches, which are typical of this high terrain. I remember seeing them a lot in Colorado. There is a lone hiker straight down below there. He's probably looking up here and seeing me, and I don't know. Wondering how the hell I got up here. I think I'm going to skip the rock glacier for now, just from a time standpoint. Oh, look at that. Like a freaking 200-foot phallic looking spire. Pretty impressive. Stopping to admire the phlox, little mini white phlox flowers, and then these purple flowers are called sky pilots. Alright, a couple little class 3 maneuvers here. I gotta get past all these chimneys, descend down into the amphitheater side, and kind of skirt below them, and I should be able to bypass all of them. Okay, the last little false summit here, and I'm just gonna meander that way. Should be able to trek this ridge down. It's gonna be all talus, and hopefully I'll hit right where the bristlecone pines are. Oh, no, this is cool. Fossilized sand ripples from like a shallow lake. And these things just stand right out. That is the coolest thing ever. Almost getting out of this nightmare. I think it's taken me longer to descend than I did ascend. Just this miserable slope. I think these are going to be the bristlecone pine forests I'm coming up to. Very sparse open forest with gnarled trees. Supposedly there's an old tree called Prometheus. Probably not pronouncing it right. But they cut it for, I think, scientific analysis, not realizing that it could have been perhaps the oldest tree in the world. So now it's just a tree stump. I'm not sure if that's along the main trail, which is over there. I'm just going to cut through all this talus, get to Teresa Lake, which is over just out of view this direction. It turns out all the old growth trees that I saw, I think they were limber pines instead of bristlecones. I have a feeling the bristlecones are probably on the other side of the slope there. Made it back onto some firmer footing. I'm just below Teresa Lake. Should be a nice easy cruise back to the car. Guy from Nebraska is going to get lucky. He's going to get my spot.